Javon Carter able to knock it down, about a 30% shooter from three.
But he's really had a good sophomore season. He's had to fill some big shoes in Jawan Staten, and Javon Carter, not a natural point guard, but has handled the duties tremendously well.
His team last night stuck around and eventually able to make shots down the stretch.
And tonight, if they're going to want to pull off another upset, it has to be Trent, number 3, and Chauncey Collins, the guys leading the way. And look at Trent on attack.
In a guy, even though as a team they don't shoot it well, he does 45% from the three-point line.
Well, it's amazing his improvement from his sophomore season. Last year, he only shot 17% from behind the arc. But the coaching staff, he said he's put in extra time in the gym, and it's paying off in his production.
Trent from the corner.
To retain the basketball. Let him go ahead and jump it up.
Watkins has come on and given him good minutes. A guy who's playing time's been sporadic, coming back off the ACL injury. See that knee brace he wears on the left side. Trent fires and hits a three.
Continues to come at you. They're just so relentless.
Evan Williams, that bucket. He's got 15 and 10. It's his 14th double-double of the year. 31st of his career. Yeah, I mean, early on, we looked at each other, thought there was a chance that this could be ugly, and credit to Malique Trent. Ray jumper. And wouldn't go, and the rebound by Trent.
Played for 4 coaches in his 5 years. Said he came to the university because he believed in being a Texas Tech Raider. And not necessarily for the coach he played for. You come and sign up for the school.
And how about Trent? And Ross a three for the lead. Trent comes away with it. Trent ahead. Got it to go. And
intercepted by Trent, running the passing lane. And the best off the bounce. Woodard, no sir. Rebound for TCU. Trent, the pull-up. Cash is in. Catch and shoot. They converge on him, so he drops it off. And a rebound, Washburn. Trent revs it up. Down the lane for two.
It doesn't matter where you guard me, but there's going to be some spots where you don't feel comfortable guarding me, and I can score from there. So far, he's been more comfortable out at 15 feet than he has been down low.
Stanley had the game against Georgia. Huge second half, hit the game winner. Then he had that bout with pneumonia. Not sure he ever regained his joins him in double figures with 11.
Well, the improvement from last year, averaging 6.3 points a game, and this year basically doubling that, scoring over 12 a game.
Trent flows by Edwards this time. And everybody has talked this year that the Big 12 is by far the best conference, and it's time for the league to have a deep run from a number of its top teams this year.
Joe Lenardi of ESPN has Texas Tech as an 8 seed, and they're 8-9 in conference play, to show you how much.
Road win against the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and the final action of the Big 12 is here, and Baylor's off to a fantastic start with an 11-0 lead on TCU, but the Frogs are finally.
Terrific defense right there.
Washburn, excellent post defense and an ill-fated lob. Turnovers a bit of an issue for Baylor. We mentioned they're one of the most efficient teams in America tonight. Take
Baylor to me, it doesn't have to be Kansas defense, but it's got to be a little bit more consistent in stringing stops together, particularly inside the 4- and 5-minute mark in the second half when you're trying to close out games defensively.
Trent's been aggressive, and he got real creative there. He really hasn't had great looks.
And that's probably the biggest reason Prince is going to be a pro next year. Make a lot of money. His ability at 6'8" to knock down that long-range shot.
Trent says, I'll take matters in my own hands. Prince, Wainwright, Medford all have impact on this run. And Malique Trent is keeping TCU in its single. He has the last 7 Frog points. He's going to got it 9 right here.
Tech which has its largest lead at 3.
And that's what Zach does extremely well. He just hangs around the basket. He has a 43-inch vertical, and this young man is a great athlete.
Good look, and Malique Trent, who was another
expressing how executing is extremely important. And that meant on the half-court offensive side and even in transition.
Good take by Trent, counted and a foul. And Texas Tech back up by 4, 5:50 to play. Trent on the drive with the left hand. Good play, Malique Trent, his first points of the half. And he now 24 of 29 at the free throw line. TCU is 13 of 19 from the free throw stripe tonight. Here is Parrish. He's been quiet as of late. The latter stages of this second half. Trent, pass Gochard. What a play by Malique Trent. He's got 12.
What a
up by 5, 3:05 to go.
Nice athletic play by Justin Gray. Attacking the ball, attacking the hole strong on the offensive glass.
Trent, he'll pull up. That's a 3 for Malique Trent. Big
three-point shooter for the third best field goal shooting team in the country, and an early shot for Chauncey Collins. The rebound for the freshman J.D. Miller in his first career start for TCU. Malique Trent, the lefty, ties the game.
Looked over at Steve Prohm, and he looked down his bench and was fighting as hard as he could not to break out in the biggest smile he's probably had in the last 3 weeks.
Malique Trent sticks a 3. Eight of the miss. TCU can draw within 1 with a 3 here. On Valentine's earlier in the year has bounced back from the injury, and Malique era of good feelings in the first half went away rather quickly. Monte Morris with that assist, now 500 for his career at Iowa State.
Deontay Burton has been unstoppable when he's ripped that ball through and attacked the basket. He has been unstoppable, and he needs to quit settling for jump shots and attack.
Malique Trent
5 of 8 behind the three-point line for Nader so far.
Trent the miss, got it back and scored.
Irvin made a nice move to get to the rim, but couldn't get the ball to drop with the left hand.
My old coach would say that was $1 million move, but a nickel finish.
From outside, Trent's got the ball. They have numbers. The seeing eye pass through. Things, how things work out. He hasn't stood still for 2 seconds all night. We put the camera on him, and he's still. Got some of these big games coming up.
It's a great point you make, Alan, because college guys get better in practice. The NBA, they get better in games. But in college, you need the practice time for your development. Hey. How about that jump through?
Nice. In order to deal with some injuries, losing Kenrich Williams for the year, and that's one that hurts him.
Well, he's a guy that is their best all-around player. Good drive right there to you right now. You got 4. Now you need to clear out and get out of the way and stretch out the double team. If your man leaves you to double team, you come back and help. I mean, they're going to double team you, Mitch. The thing you got to do is lengthen where they come from. Be a space eater.
You know what he's like, though, a couple years ago? I had Trent Johnson's biggest win. They beat Kansas when it was 264 against 1, and Abram was really good in that game a couple years ago. Trying to get his confidence back. Trent able to find the roll. He has. Ooh, Trent able to attack in.
More importantly, cutting off the driving lanes from the opposition, making every shot be a tough one on the offensive end.
Malique Trent thrown out very often. They're always in tight games.
Well, preparation is key, of course, at this level.
Didn't prepare for this fast break, and Trent could have a three-point play.
2 for 2 here in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. Why hasn't he taken more shots?
Right.
The answer to that question is because they turned the basketball over too many times to really get him looks.
10 points now for Hammonds, and for the 11th time this year, he goes into double Cowboys.
And I'm not sure Travis Ford really has ever seen this. I mean, of course, as a college coach, he's been in the college coaching game for a long time now. But the way that this team is turning the basketball over has...
Back to the basket or his face-up game. Right now, he's a shot blocker, rebounder, and finisher. And he knows his role with the Sooners.
Catch and shoot three. Good. Malique into the front court. Trent dribbles into a double team, gets it back, jump stop, floats it up and in. It's a nice assist on the jam by Manniang a few minutes ago.
And when you got so many shooters on the floor, you have to hard hedge off the screen. You have to get back to the screener. TCU was in rotation that time. And James got the open look and knocked it down.
It's an answer for team
conversion game. Basically put it in the books. Latin comes out of nowhere. Not only makes the block, but runs the floor. You get 2 points on the finish. Very vital piece to the Sooner team.
The drive with the left hand, and it finished by Malique
Johnson right now. You know, his team does a lot of things well. And then they have moments where they're sloppy and careless. And when you play in the Big 12, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Baylor, West Virginia, and you get sloppy, you get blown out.
Drive and score by Trent. Facing up, the shot goes up. Not there for Schofield. Rebound by Abram. Well, TCU had 3 of their first 7 shots of the game, went 5 of their next 24 to end the half.
Comes in and tries to put up numbers on the offensive end right off the bat.
Washburn's pass was wide.